Viz Media just dropped a lot of exciting announcements today, and I am very happy to go over them with y'all, so stay tuned. So this is one of my favorite times, is whenever they do these mass announcements on Twitter and stuff like that. It's always a lot of fun to see what new licenses and what new books are coming. And I did this, what is this, the third time I've done one of these, second time I've done one of these? Whatever the case is, I enjoy doing these videos so that I can talk to y'all about which of these books I'm really looking forward to picking up. But like I've said on a previous video, keep in mind that not everything is for everyone, but everything is for someone. So if the thing that you've been waiting for wasn't announced this time, don't go and say that everything that was announced was trash, because there's a lot of stuff to be excited about here. And I'm going to talk to you guys about which ones I am particularly excited about. So I'm going to be cheating. I just have my phone here and I'm going to run through these things and read exactly what they tweeted out about these individual items, and I'll put a picture up next to me as I am talking. So the first announcement that we got was for an Uzumaki coloring book. We always get some of these different types of things, like we got the Hello Kitty pom-pom book and Sanji's cookbook last time. This time we got the Uzumaki coloring book, which surprisingly was the only book by Junji Ito that we got, and it's not even really a Junji Ito book, it's a coloring book. That's really interesting though. This would be a really fun book to have, something definitely different to have in your collection if you're into those like adult coloring books. I've had a couple of them. They can be nice to relax with. This, of course, we have the Uzumaki anime coming to Adult Swim soon, so it does seem properly timed, but it's just very surprising that we did not have at least one announcement for an upcoming Junji Ito hardcover, but I'm sure that we'll have one around the corner anyway, because there's always a few coming around the corner from Viz. Anyway, after that, we got something that was really exciting to me, and that was a new deluxe edition hardcover of some Kazuo Ume's work. Kazuo Ume's, of course, is the creator of Drifting Classroom. They released those hardcovers not that long ago. I know a lot of people were hoping for new editions of Cat-Eyed Boy. That's not what we got this time, but instead we did get Orochi, the perfect edition. So this is going to have all the interconnected short stories from Orochi by Kazuo Ume's in one deluxe edition hardcover. I would imagine it's going to be probably the same format as Drifting Classroom, the same size and stuff as that or the Junji Ito books. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Ume's is a really amazing creator. And as typical, we do get something from Nintendo. We got one announcement for a Pokemon book, and that is that we're getting the Pokemon X and Y manga in English. I know that we're already a couple of generations past X and Y at this point, but still, it's always fun to get new Pokemon manga. So Pokemon X and Y is coming out spring of 2022, and right now, the collector's editions, by the way, those larger 3-in-1 collections, are going to be ending with volume 10. That just goes through basically the first 3 gens, as well as Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Emerald. There isn't any news yet whether they're going to continue those collector's editions with Gen 4 and beyond, though. This next one was a really big and exciting one, and that is the Deadpool Samurai manga. This is one that's been running in Japan for a little while as part of the Shonen Jump Plus digital magazine, but we haven't gotten it in the US yet, and I'm so excited. I figured it would happen eventually because it is a Marvel character getting the manga treatment, and with Deadpool as big as he is, it's a no-brainer to bring it over. Their blurb on this was, Deadpool moves to Tokyo and encounters just about every kind of shonen trope you can think of. Chaos and humor collide in Deadpool Samurai, spring 2022. So I am definitely looking forward to this. I knew there was going to be at least one license announcement for a Shonen Jump title. I wasn't expecting this one, but the next one I'm going to talk about is the one that I was really hoping for, so I was very excited that it happened. So moving on, this next one was a surprise, but looks pretty cool. This is kind of an art book. It's Star Wars, tribute to Star Wars, and it has a lot of artwork from, it says, 45 outstanding Japanese manga artists and illustrators, including Akira Himekawa, Taiyo Matsumoto, and Yoshikazu Yasuhiko. So there's a lot of cool artists that are going to be involved in this. This is definitely one, as a big fan of both Star Wars and manga, I am I'm going to try and pick this one up. This looks really cool. It looks like a nice art book, might be a nice coffee table book to put out in my library. And next up we have, here's another one of those kind of different books. This is a book about how to make onigiri. So they said, Japanese rice balls are about to get really fun. A variety of recipes for these convenient little snacks curated by popular Parisian onigiri restaurant Gili Gili are packed into this cookbook. Onigiri drops spring 2022. So not for me, but I know a lot of people will enjoy something cute like that and learning how to make onigiri. So there you go. This next one is, I think, the only shoujo title that got announced during this round of announcements, and it says, after years of missing out on love and dating for fear of rejection, Satomi decisively blurts out her feelings. But now the hard part comes, dating. This refreshing take on shoujo, Imakoi, Now I'm in Love, drops in spring 2022. So there's that one. Now this next one though is one that I'm really excited about, and I figured that they were going to do a collection with some of this creator's works because Viz has been doing a lot of these creator focused collections and stuff like this lately, and I've also been reprinting a lot of this creator's works. And of course this is from Rumiko Takahashi, beloved creator of Inuyasha, Ranma 1/2, and Urusei Yatsura, is back with an eclectic collection of short stories, Came the Mirror and Other Tales, plus a rare autobiographical tale about the mangaka's lifelong love for manga, releases spring 2022. I'm a huge fan of Rumiko Takahashi. I'm really happy to get this short story collection. I'm not sure though just yet if these stories are ones that are collected in any of the previously released short story collections, these classic books. We've got like the Rumik World trilogy and Rumik Theater volumes. At least the Came the Mirror story, I don't see that title included amongst these classic books, but I also don't have all three of the Rumik World trilogy volumes, so it could be in one of those others. Whatever the case is, I'm really happy to get some more Takahashi to put on my shelf. I have, at this point, almost every English release of Rumiko Takahashi work, aside from the other 2 volumes of Rumik World Trilogy, and I do need to collect Rinni pretty soon, so I can kind of complete my Takahashi collection. Alright, now moving on from that, the next one is, this is the most exciting announcement of everything they dropped today, bar none, for me at least. This is something that I have been hoping and praying for, and my wishes have been granted, and we are finally getting Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai in English. This is a classic Shonen Jump manga series that ran in the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine decades ago, and we have never seen this translated into English, regardless of the popularity of the Dragon Quest video game franchise. But now that there's a new Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai anime that's been airing, I was hoping that that would spurn Viz to decide to release this series physically, and we are very fortunate because that's exactly what has happened. Now, their blurb about this says, with the help of his friends, Dai will set out on a grand adventure to become the hero he was meant to be in the first arc of the legendary adventure series set in the world of Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai is coming to bookshelves spring 2022. So if I were to guess, I think this is going to be an English adaptation of the newest printing that has come out in Japan, which was collected across 25 volumes. I believe the series was originally 37 or 39 volumes total, but it's across 25 volumes now, and it does include some of the original colored artwork from the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine when it was originally published. Now, I'm hoping that this release is successful and that a lot of y'all will go out and buy this series, because if this succeeds, it makes me feel like there's hope that this manga from the same 2 creators as Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai might be reprinted, and we might finally get the subsequent volumes released in English that have never been released before, and that is Beat the Vandal Buster. I loved Beat the Vandal Buster back when I was in like high school when this was first coming out in English. However, it went on to a 10-year hiatus in Japan, and during that time, Viz just did not decide to continue publishing it past volume 12. So 10 years later, when volume 13 came out in Japan, we never got the 13th volume or the 14th volume. I think there's a 15th volume now in Japan. But if Dragon Quest is successful, maybe, just maybe, we can get Beat the Vandal Buster back as well. But just because that was the most exciting announcement to me out of everything does not mean the rest of these announcements are no good. There are some really great things remaining. This next one, though, not really for me. We get some Demon Slayer coloring books. Now this is a coloring book. Add color to over 70 illustrations featuring your favorite characters from Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba with art by manga artist Koyoharu Gotoge. Demon Slayer, the official coloring book, drops spring 2022. So not really for me, but I'm sure there's a lot of people excited about that. This next one is based on the masterpiece film from Studio Ghibli co-founder Isao Takahata. This is the untold story of Princess Kaguya. Includes scene-by-scene illustrations and character dialogue from the film. The Tale of the Princess Kaguya picture book releases spring 2022. So that one looks pretty good. It sounds like it's pretty much just a adaptation of that film straight onto a page, which is something that they used to do a lot. They had those anime manga books for series like Inuyasha, and actually Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle had them as well. So it sounds like this kind of might be one of those. Sounds pretty interesting. And speaking of Kaguya, we also have the art and words of Isao Takahata's gorgeous adaptation of the classic tale come to life. This book captures the breathtaking art of the Studio Ghibli film from the conception to production. The art of the tale of Princess Kaguya releases spring of 2022. So 2 books related to that animated film. And after this is another art book, and it's one that I actually have. I got it from Japan. I imported it, but it's a really great book, so I'm excited to see it be released in English, so a lot of y'all who aren't able to import stuff can have it for yourself, and that is the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 6251 art book. This was actually released, I believe, in the late 90s in Japan, and it is an oversized hardcover with a lot of beautiful illustrations from the JoJo series from like the first 4 parts. So it makes sense why they would release this now in the US, because we've just finished getting part 4 published in English. So now we're gonna get all of this stuff in an English edition, which is cool because on top of all the artwork, there's also articles in here that, me being someone who cannot read Japanese, I can't read all these things. So even though I already have the Japanese edition of this awesome art book, I will very likely buy that English edition as well, because I want to be able to read all those things that I can't read, and that's going to be really exciting. Also, I want to support this release because I want for Viz Media to release more supplemental JoJo's Bizarre Adventure material. I want to see more of that material in English. It would be really awesome to see them do that. All right, so the next one is another huge one, and one that I've really been hoping for, and I know that a lot of people have been hoping for this as well, and that is we're finally getting Alice in Borderland. The manga source material for the hit Netflix series Alice in Borderland comes to bookshelves spring 2022. Ryohei's sick of the world, but his new world has a sick joke in store for him. It's a game, and the only way to survive is to play. So this is from creator Haro Aso, who also created the currently ongoing series Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead, as well as other manga too. So I'm really enjoying Bucket List of the Dead, and I was hoping that this is something that would get licensed sooner or later. No telling right now whether it's gonna, I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be just regular single volume releases, probably signature edition, so they'll be slightly oversized. And I believe the series ran for 18 volumes, so it's not terribly long, but it's plenty of material for them to put out. I'd love to see it in 2-in-1 volumes so they can just churn it out really quickly, but we'll see what happens. It's probably just gonna be regular single volumes. So that was another big one, and this is probably the one that I'm the second most excited about, and I'm very surprised to see this announced as early as it is, because this series is still pretty young in the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine, but if you're not reading Sakamoto Days, you have to read it because it is such an amazing action comedy series, and I am so excited that Viz Media is giving us physical releases for this amazing manga. So their blurb on this one says, things are about to get super inconvenient for convenience store owner Taro Sakamoto when his past as a legendary assassin catches up to him. Sakamoto Days drops in spring of 2022. Again, this is a great series. You can read the series on the Shonen Jump app right now. It is hilarious, and it has amazing action in there as well. I really love that the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine has more of these really great action comedy hybrid series. This one and Mashal is another great example. They're just really fun series that have amazing artwork. I'm just having such a great time with those titles in the magazine right now, and I am so happy that we're getting physical releases. There are other manga that have not been released physically just yet that are still ongoing in the magazine that I'm crossing my fingers that we'll hopefully see in the future, but this was the one, this is at the top of my list, and this was the next one that I was hoping was going to get a localized physical release. Next, another one for fans of Demon Slayer. We're getting the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Stories of Water and Flame. So this is something you'll want to pick up if you are a fan of the series. I know many people are. Their blurb says the Flame Hashira and the Water Hashira star in two back-to-back tales set in the world of Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Stories of Water and Flame releases spring 2022. So again, that'll be nice for people who are fans of that series, myself included, to be able to pick up that volume and add it as a supplement to your manga. The manga, of course, wrapping up physically in English just around the corner. The last volume is almost here, and the box set is due out this fall. So do not miss it. It's a great time to be into this series, of course. The hype behind the movie and the hype behind the second season coming out soon just continues rolling, and it's hard to not be excited if you're a fan of the series. Anyway, next up, that's actually it. That's it for all of their physical release announcements, but they did have a few digital-only announcements, which unfortunately, I feel like if it gets announced for digital-only volumes, that means there's not really any plan to have it released physically, and a couple of these kind of hurt. Because they're things that I really wish would get physical releases. I'm not saying it's completely out of the question, but I am saying it's not likely to happen. So first, they mentioned that Bone Collection was going to be released digitally, the volumes, and these are all available to read in the Shonen Jump app, but you can buy the 2 volumes in fall of 2021, so just around the corner here. Next, we have this one. I feel like I might be in the minority here, but I really love Me and Roboco, so seeing that this one was only going to get the digital release did kind of make me sad, but if you haven't tried it out, it is a great gag manga that reminds me of stuff like Doraemon. It's just a lot of fun. I really love this series, and it's too bad it's not getting physical release. Next up, this one really hurt. Y'all who watched my videos know that I loved this manga. It was canceled just a few weeks ago, and I'm really upset about that fact because I loved the Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin series. I loved it from start to finish. I do think it finished off pretty well. It didn't get to completely do everything that it needed to, but it gave it a pretty good ending. And that one is getting a digital release of its volumes in fall of 2021. Even though that got canceled, I would love to see that get released physically. I just am a huge fan of that series. I would love to put it up on the Shonen Jump shelves. And then the last... Oh, there's 2 more. The next one is Mitama Security Spiritbusters. This one is another shorter series from the Shonen Jump magazine. 5 volumes available digitally in 2021. And then the last one is Magu, the God of Destruction. That one's going to get a digital release fall of 2021. So Magu-chan, God of Destruction, and Me and Roboco, those 2 are kind of curious because the others were canceled titles. They're ended, they were canceled, all that jazz. But Magu-chan and Roboco are still ongoing, so it's kind of interesting to me to see that these 2 titles are going into digital releases before they ended. So I don't know, it's just putting that out there. So those were all the releases, physical and digital. So the ones that I'm looking most forward to, number 1, like I said, Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai. That one is something I've been wanting for a long time. I believe I actually put it in a YouTube video last year or so, saying that it was one of the series that I want to see localized the most. Aside from that, we got a lot of really awesome other stuff. I'm definitely picking up the new book from Kazuo Ume's Orochi. I'm going to be picking up the Deadpool Samurai volume, of course. I'm probably going to pick up the Star Wars book. I'm not 100% sold on that, but it does look really awesome. Definitely picking up that Rumiko Takahashi volume. I'm going to be grabbing, for sure, the Alice in Borderland. I'm going to be really excited to have an English edition of the JoJo art book. And then Sakamoto Days. Absolutely picking that one up day one. And that Demon Slayer spin-off book is going to be a lot of fun too. I'll look to add that one to my collection. So that's everything that was announced today. A lot of really exciting stuff. Please, in the comments below, let me know which of these books you are the most excited about, and why is the correct answer Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai. Anyway, thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. If you've been around for a little while, thank you for joining me again. Either way, thank you for joining me here and having fun with me. I hope this video was fun and entertaining as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.